All right. We are going to get into the actual beats that we're going to be making, some drum fills that will go in between the beats, and a little bit of the function. We already went over this a little bit, but I'm going to kind of cover that again just because it's important to talk about what drum fills are. And we are going to arrange our beats and actually go into the act of arranging them and exporting these beats out. So, again, this is part of our module 2 beats, and I added this video to have a little bit more specific beats in mind. We're doing a Dead Mouse style dance beat. We're doing a Jay Dilla style hip hop beat, and we are doing a reggaeton beat in the style of Despacito. So let's get to it. Our first beat, I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. The kit that I have, you can see if I just double click here, it shows me my kit. So I'm using a backbeat room, and I'll play this for you. I activate my ARM session just to make sure you can hear this. It's pretty standard, but since dance music is sort of a derivative of rock music, plus a little bit of disco thrown in, I think this is appropriate. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. Again, I can see my clip. When I click on my clip, I can go back to the instrument. Or another thing I can do is I can actually just press Shift Tab, and that goes back and forth between my instrument and my MIDI input screen here. I'll make this a little bit bigger for you guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this beat, and then I'll explain about creating it. All right, so this is a very driving beat. Um, our fill for this beat is going to be kind of cool, kind of a little bit of electronic flavor. So let's first create the beat and then we'll create the fill. So I double click on my open scene here, and I am going to start out with 4 on the floor. 4 on the floor. When we're in 4/4 time, that means every quarter note is being played, and usually the floor being the kick drum. So our floor is going to sound like this. As far as dynamics go, I'm fine with having our bass drums be at about 100. We can see our velocity down in the left-hand corner down here. When I select, you can see it's 100. If I go much higher, it's going to start overloading the track. So I don't want to go to maximum velocity, but this is fine. All right. Again, just to reiterate, our metronome, or our tempo, excuse me, is at a 120 BPMs. This is sort of a standard dance tempo. And so just to make sure that's clear, because our other tempos are going to be different. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do snare drum on beats 2 and 4. You can see it's beats 2 and 4 because of my grid. Got our first part, second, third, fourth. And then right up here, bar 1, bar 1.2. So that means that's our second beat. 1.3 is going to be our third beat. 1.4, that's our fourth beat. Already sounds like a rock beat. Now, we want to give our hi-hat, our timekeeping device, so let's see here. All right, I like that hi-hat, but let's have a little more emphasis on the beat 3. So it's like, so we don't have a real open hi-hat. We're just going to use the same sound. And I'm just going to select these and go to my draw mode. I like to use the draw mode when I am using multiple sounds, because it's easy to do without messing with all the other velocity / dynamics in here. All right, so now I like using the duplicate. So I'm going to say Command D, duplicate. Again, I'm making sure this area up here is selected, the entire area. If I don't have this all selected, say I have just the 3 beats and I press duplicate, Command D, I fill in the next phrase versus I want to have that last 16th note open. Again, I like duplicate because it also duplicates the dynamics. I'm going to go in here and I'm actually just going to duplicate both of these. I can see that it's the whole half is selected. I'm going to duplicate. So, and for a little variation, I'm going to add one last beat here. And again, I'm going to use the draw tool because with the draw tool, I can actually adjust the velocity while I'm in it by moving it up or down. You can see the hue changing. So oops. But I have to be careful with how much I do that. All right, I've given it, it's got a nice little swing now because of the dynamics. I want one more sort of sound. We have a tambourine sound in here. So let's go ahead and put this tambourine also where that open hi-hat kind of would be. And let's make these quieter. So when I want to select all of a sound, I can either select it like this, or I can just click where the sound comes out. And yeah, so I can click where the sound comes out. And now I can either just take them all with my mouse, or again, I like using the draw tool just because if I want a little variation, it's easier to get. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rename this beat 1A. All right. All right. Let's make our fill for this beat. I think, let's see here. What did I do? I did a little bit of the beat gets a little, or excuse me, the fill. So a drum fill is to sort of create space or create attention for something that's going to happen. In our case, we're just going to transition to another beat, but we're going to use this fill to do so. So I'm going to start out with a single line. It's important you're in 16th notes right now. We're going to get into 32nd notes and even a little bit higher later in this beat. I'm on my bass drum. Actually, let's just go ahead. I'm going to move these notes. So if I select them, I can then just move them up and down with my arrows. We have another snare drum. Yeah, let's do that. So, and then now I'm going to go into 32nd notes. And let's go, how about, and then I want to go back to 16th notes. And then I want to go to 32nd notes. I'm going to use my draw tool, and I'm actually going to show you guys how to go to even a higher rhythmic value. So we've got 16th notes, we've got 32nd notes. Now, this little button over here where my mouse is, big mouse, so if I'm here, play it half tempo, play it double tempo. So my notes are selected. I want to play it double tempo. So now I can see that I'm actually playing 64th notes. And I get that sort of really electronic sound. So I'm gonna put this at the end of my bar. I can even do this more. But I'm going to go ahead. So I'm just using the play at halftime. You can always do this, and it's nice. It won't change the value, but you just have to be careful because it's a global thing that will change whatever you have selected to either half the tempo. Like I'll change these half the tempo, and I'll go back. All right, so now I want to have the same thing, and let's go ahead and if I hold the Option key down, I can actually duplicate it without having to press the Command D, and I can sort of drag it where I would like to have it. And let's go ahead and have a couple kick drums in here. Let's keep it a little bit simple. All right. Maybe we'll just add this. No, that's too much. Okay, nice little drum fill. All right, now I'm going to go into my dynamics, and I'll select all to make sure I can adjust everything. So let's just start. These can be loud. Let's have these go soft. Go back up, and then like kind of a final crescendo. All right, so that's our first beat. I'm gonna do another video for the second beat, which is gonna be our. I think I'm actually gonna do the Despacito next, just because again it's a little simpler. All right, hope you enjoyed.